Hello everybody, and happy second week of physical isolation. I hope you're finding many ways to keep busy and stay socially connected. Because we still cannot have our tap class, we're going to continue the steps that I introduced last week and introduce more pieces of that combination. So I haven't quite found music that I like yet for this piece, so we're going to learn it without music, which is good. We'll go nice and slow. And that should actually help us get a good ear for keeping our steps even when we don't have music coming alongside. So in addition to adding some steps on, or in the process of adding some steps on, you're going to learn one new step today. Very exciting, the cramp roll. But first, let's review the steps that were at the end of last week's video. Alright, so it began with full lap, heel, 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 full lap, heel. 4 shuffles. So it's 4 shuffles followed by a toe heel. So I'll do that again. It's Now I'm going to add on the next segment of this combination. So if you recall, we ended with, which our weight is on our right leg. So we're going to start with our left, shuffle, step, shuffle, step. Then we're going to repeat the flap 3 heels, but starting with our left foot. And then we're going to end with, so instead of just ending with a shuffle step, we're adding in some extra sounds. So after full lap, heel, 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 it's shuffle, toe, heel, step. So we're going to practice this nice and slow so that that last bit doesn't feel too crazy. So starting with the left foot, shuffle, step, shuffle, step, shuffle, step, full lap, heel, 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 shuffle, toe, heel, step. Good. Take a moment to, let's do that just a couple times. Shuffle, step, full lap, heel, 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 shuffle, toe, heel, step. Okay? If you want, go ahead and pause and practice that a few times. And then now let's put it all together. So starting from the very beginning. All right, I'm going to go through it another time, saying the steps as I go. Full lap, heel, 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 full lap, heel. Shuffle, 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 toe, heel. Shuffle, step, full lap, heel, 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 shuffle, toe, heel, step. All right, very good. So if you'd like, you can go back, repeat those sections until you have those first 2 segments down. And then we're going to add on 2 more pieces for you to practice through this week. So the next part, so last week in our review, I included the scuff. Remember that a scuff is where you take your heel and you're moving forward. It's kind of like a brush, except instead of using the front tap, we're using the rear tap. So scuff. So in this next section, we're going to be using the scuff. The first time around, our shuffle is nice and slow, and the second time, we're going to essentially be adding in some extra sounds. So it goes like this. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, ball, change. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, toe, heel, step. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, ball, change. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, toe, heel, step. So that second part's a little bit tricky because we speed everything up, but we'll just practice it a bunch of times. So beginning again, it's a scuff on the right foot. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, ball, change. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, toe, heel, step. Gonna do it again without saying the steps. Okay, so now we are going to add that third bit onto the first and second bit. So the first time through, I'll say all the steps, since by now we've probably forgotten what that middle section is. And then I'll do it another time through without saying the steps. Fall, lap, heel, fall, lap, heel. Shuffle, 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 toe, heel. Shuffle, step, shuffle, step. Fall, lap, heel, shuffle, toe, heel, step. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, ball, change. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, toe, heel, step. All right, now without narration. All right, I'm now going to try to slow it down a little bit if you're finding that a little bit too quick. So go 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Fall, lap, heel, fall, lap, heel. Shuffle, 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 toe, heel. Shuffle, step, fall, lap, heel, shuffle, toe, heel, step. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, ball, change. Scuff, heel, step, shuffle, toe, heel, step. All right, so now is a good time to go back through, review all 3 sections of the combination. And the next part of the combination is going to involve a new step. So we won't learn that section, but I do want to teach you the step. So the step today is called a cramp roll. As with all of our compound steps, it just involves putting sounds together that we already know how to make. You're simply going to, here I'll turn around so you can imagine you're in the studio. You're going to step with your right foot, step with your left foot. You're up on your heels. It's good for your balancing muscles. Put your right heel down, put your left heel down. So in theory and in practice, you get 4 sounds. But with a cramp roll, what we're going to do is we're going to speed up those sounds until it sounds a little bit like a drum roll, hence the name. So even though we're getting all 4 sounds, we're not taking up a 4 count or a 4/16 notes. It's nice and quick. So again, and you can do this on the other side as well. So this is the one I just described, starting with your right toe. That's a right cramp roll. If you do the same thing, but starting with your left, so left toe, left heel, whew, you can get the same, and you'll notice that you probably have a side on which it feels, still getting used to this green screen thing. Okay, you'll probably have a side on which it feels more comfortable, so I can knock out right cramp rolls all day, but my left side, I'm a lot more likely to miss sounds unless I practice a lot, which clearly I should do. So again, it's, I'll turn this way in case it helps too. Toe, toe, heel, heel. So just practice that. Start slow. And you're going to speed up. You'll notice that as soon as you get to a faster speed, in order to really get the sound that you want to get, that roll, you're going to make it kind of a little hop. So when you're first working on getting those sounds, don't worry so much about hopping. Just make sure that you're giving your body the muscle memory to go toe, toe, heel, heel. And then once you speed up, you're eventually going to make a little hop in order to get those sounds in that nice roll pattern. Let's see if I can do it on the left. Oh yeah, cool. Take some time this week to practice those cramp rolls. Don't worry about putting it with anything else just yet. Toe, toe, heel, heel. Speed it up. And then when you're starting to get really fast, go ahead and give it a little hop and try to make that drum roll sound. And that's all for this week. So feel free to run this video as many times as you would like. If you wish you could have tab class every night of the week, this video is here for you. And I'll see you next week.